As the year 2023 draws to a close, the geopolitical landscape is charged with tension, particularly between two of the world's superpowers, the United States and China. The tensions, simmering beneath the surface of global politics, are not entirely new. But they have taken on an increasingly alarming dimension, with the stakes higher than ever before. The two nations find themselves locked in a multi-fronted struggle. Trade disputes, technological competition, wars of geopolitical influence and economic conflicts mark the contours of this escalating rivalry. With each passing day, the gap between the rhetoric of cooperation and the reality of competition widens, creating a chasm that threatens to engulf the global economy. Ray Dalio, a billionaire investor and founder of Bridgewater Associates, has sounded the alarm, warning that the US and China are dangerously close to a military conflict. This, he suggests, is the next logical step in the evolution of their rivalry, a step that could have severe economic consequences. The mere perception of an impending military war is already causing ripples across the globe. Markets are reacting, showing signs of nervousness and uncertainty. Companies are shifting production bases, seeking safer shores in other countries like India, Vietnam, and Mexico. The specter of war, looming on the horizon, is casting long shadows over the world economy. This tension is further exacerbated by the issue of Taiwan, a democratic island that China views as a renegade province. The US, on the other hand, sees Taiwan as a critical ally in the region. The contrasting views on Taiwan's status are a potential flashpoint, a spark that could ignite the powder keg of US-China relations. The recent statements of President Xi Jinping and President Joe Biden, expressing a desire to improve relations, offer a glimmer of hope. Yet, the hawkish rhetoric and military posturing paint a different picture, one of cold realities and hard truths. The perceived threat of a military conflict alone is enough to cause significant market volatility and economic uncertainty. As we look towards the new year, we can only hope that the rising tension between these two superpowers will not boil over into a full-scale war, a war that the world can ill afford. At the heart of this tension lies the issue of Taiwan, a self-governed democratic island that China claims as part of its territory. To understand the complexity of this issue, we must first travel back in time. After the Chinese Civil War in the mid-20th century, the defeated nationalists retreated to Taiwan, while the victorious communists established the People's Republic of China on the mainland. Since then, Taiwan has evolved into a vibrant democracy, developing its own unique identity, separate from mainland China. Yet Beijing has never renounced its claim over the island, viewing Taiwan as a renegade province that must be reunified with the mainland, by force if necessary. This stance has led to decades of diplomatic tension, with the United States stepping in as Taiwan's unofficial ally, providing it with the military and political support needed to resist China's claims. Fast forward to today, where recent events have heightened these tensions. Chinese President Xi Jinping has warned of increased military training in preparation for war, a clear signal of Beijing's resolve to take back Taiwan. This move doesn't only signify a potential threat to Taiwan's sovereignty, but also underscores the escalating rivalry between the United States and China. This rivalry is not merely about territorial claims though, it's a clash between two fundamentally different ideologies. On one side we have the United States, a beacon of democracy supporting Taiwan, a fellow democratic state. On the other side we have China, an authoritarian regime, determined to bring Taiwan under its control. In this chess game of international politics, Taiwan has become a pawn, its future hanging in the balance between two global superpowers. The uncertainty surrounding this issue has implications that reach far beyond Taiwan and China, affecting global politics, economies, and peace. The Taiwan issue is not just about territorial claims, but also about the clash of democratic and autocratic ideologies. Despite this rising tension, there have been attempts by both sides to improve relations. Amidst the backdrop of escalating political chess games, US President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping have engaged in dialogue, expressing a shared desire for improved relations. This isn't just diplomatic lip service, it's a crucial part of navigating the ever-changing geopolitical landscape. A significant part of their conversation revolves around the Taiwan issue. This small island nation has become a fulcrum point in the seesaw of US-China relations. President Xi has reiterated Beijing's intention to reunify Taiwan with mainland China, a statement met with apprehension by the US and the rest of the free world. Though the dialogue between the two leaders is a positive sign, it's not without its complexities. The conversation is a delicate dance, a balancing act of asserting national interests without pushing the other party into a corner. As they navigate this tightrope, President Biden and President Xi must contend with internal pressures, international expectations, and the ever-present shadow of history. One of the biggest challenges is the intersection of domestic politics and international diplomacy. For President Biden, the Taiwan issue is a tightrope walk, balancing the need to support a democratic ally while avoiding a direct military confrontation with China. On the other side, President Xi is dealing with mounting nationalism and the pressure to assert China's sovereignty over Taiwan. The stakes are high, not just for the two nations involved, but for the global community. A misstep, a miscalculated move, could plunge the world into a conflict no one is prepared for. The leaders' ability to maintain diplomatic dialogue, despite the rising tensions, is a testament to their understanding of these high stakes. While diplomatic dialogues are a step in the right direction, the road to peaceful resolutions is fraught with obstacles. The implications of a military conflict between the US and China would be far-reaching and devastating. A military showdown isn't just about the soldiers on the front lines or the political leaders making decisions behind closed doors. It's about the ripple effects that touch every corner of our interconnected global society. Let's consider the economic implications first. Billionaire investor Ray Dalio warns of a severe economic downturn in the event of a war. The mere perception of an impending military conflict can send shockwaves through markets around the globe. It creates uncertainty, and as we know, markets hate uncertainty. Investment slows, businesses become wary of expansion, and consumers tighten their belts. All these factors combined could trigger a global economic downturn. Then there's the potential for sanctions. If history is any guide, Western countries are likely to rally together and impose sanctions on Chinese goods should Beijing initiate a conflict over Taiwan. This could lead to a further slowdown in economic activity, not just in China, but globally, given China's significant role in international trade. And let's not forget the shift of production to other countries. The looming threat of a conflict is already causing companies to rethink their supply chains. Many are shifting production to other countries like India, Vietnam, and Mexico. This could lead to job losses in China and create economic instability. Ray Dalio predicts a likely conflict in Taiwan in about 2 years. This prediction hinges on various factors, including the potential victory of the more hawkish Republican Party in the next US presidential election, and the likelihood of a global economic downturn. It's a grim prediction indeed, but it serves as a stark reminder of the high stakes at play in this geopolitical chess game. The stakes are high and the world watches with bated breath as the situation continues to unfold. The US-China tension is a complex issue, with a multitude of factors at play. As we've delved into this intricate web, we've explored the rising tension, the Taiwan issue, the dialogue between the two nations, and the potential implications of a war. The Taiwan issue remains a key sticking point, with Beijing's intent on reunification and the US's commitment to Taiwan's democracy. It's a delicate dance of power and influence, where one misstep could set off a chain reaction with far-reaching consequences. The dialogue between Presidents Biden and Xi Jinping has underscored the importance of diplomatic efforts. While words have been exchanged and warnings issued, the world watches with bated breath as these two superpowers navigate an increasingly volatile chessboard. The implications of a war, as we've discussed, are severe. Not only would it crush economic growth, but it would also shift global alliances and force companies to rethink their strategies. The mere perception of war affects markets and economies, a ripple effect that touches every corner of the globe. As we move into 2024, the world hopes for peaceful resolutions and strategic diplomacy to prevail over the looming shadow of war.